secret to peace that nobody talks about. Welcome to this week's Rooted Wisdoms. I'm Elise Falzone, your spiritual sage. And today we are going to dig into the topic of peace. Peace is something that so many of us desire. I know I do. And this is such a potent topic because the secret, let me let you in on this little secret. The secret to peace that nobody talks about is that there's not actually one size fits all. What works for you is not necessarily the thing that's going to work for me. And what works for me is not necessarily the thing that's going to work for you. But what I will tell you and what I will offer to you today are three of my go-to ways of coming back to my peaceful presence. Okay. Sometimes there's a lot going on in the world. If you're anything like me, I've got kids and a spouse and life and school and companies and teaching and clients and all of these different aspects of life. And I have to create time for me. That is the number one thing for me personally to create peace in my life is to make sure on my calendar, I am creating space for me. I've got to create space for me to be in my God-centered space, to be in my intuitive channel, to be with me and to be with my higher self and God. Okay. Why is this important? Because what it does is it allows me to peel my layers. It allows me to offer everything down. It lets me to it gives space for me to shed my layers and actually feel presence within myself. And when I feel that presence, I come to this place of homeostasis. I come to this place of peace, and I come to this place that actually I can breathe, I can move my body, I can connect, I can actually be in a place where I can find some peace and calm. So, number one is creating space. Number two is also really important. Do something that feels good, whether it's cooking or playing a game with my kids, rollerblading, dancing, moving, getting together with one of my girlfriends or one of my business partners, just getting together and having a good time, evoking some sort of a feel-good emotion, because all of those endorphins and oxytocin and all of those hormones that are feel-good hormones are going to release in my body. And when that happens, it is going to remind me of the joy and joy inside of peace. It's going to give me a space to land and to feel really good. Okay. So, number two is feel good. Do something that feels good. Okay. And number three is one of my favorites. And this might be one that you might not think about doing very often. But anytime someone has written me a nice card, a thank you, a testimonial from one of my clients, somebody that has really acknowledged who I be as a person, who I be in this world, in my mission, as a daughter, as a mother, as a creator. This is one of the most beautiful things that I love doing. I save all of these, and I love going to my little saved space of all of these. I'll pull out a card and I'll read it. Why? Because it reminds me who the frick I am, okay? And in that moment, when I am reminded of who I am, the things that feel hard, the things that might be going on in the mental gymnastics, the things that I might feel like I'm struggling with, they just seem to fall away. And I find a sense of peace in remembering who I am. So, those are my three go-to ways to help support me to finding peace when I'm feeling out of sorts. And I hope that one of them, at least, can support you in finding your own peace inside of yourself. And if you discover a new way, let me know, message me, connect with me. I always love finding new ways and tips and tools that we can use together to regulate, to feel great, and to honor our systems. So remember, it's not one size fits all. Try one, two, or three of what I gave you today in creating peace. As a reminder, number one, creating space for yourself. Number two, do something that feels good. And number three, go back to something that somebody has said. And if you can't find something, if you can't find a card or a testimonial or something, Give one of your friends a call and say, hey, can you remind me who I am? And just let them share in all the beauty, the amazingness that you are, and find that sense of peace for yourself. With love and awakening, have a beautiful, blessed day. Here's to today's Rooted Wisdoms. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.